Rage Pigs is out for blood in terms of saying, I got something on them. Well, where is it? You would have said it a long time ago. They didn't tell him anything that they would give a shit about. He's pissed because he failed to achieve the goal. It doesn't matter if he has 100,000 subjects in the chat. Who he wants to control is who he wants to control. This is a typical abuser. They have their targets. They have their sights. You have seen the stories out there, folks. When someone bails, and it doesn't even have to be a romantic or sexual relationship, any type of relationship, if someone decides to get the hell out of there, the other subject who can't tolerate rejection is going to go on the hunt, whether it's the emotional hunt or the physical hunt, trying to exact revenge. And that's exactly what Rage Pigs did, making up lies about breaking the culture, wants to get with, oh, bullshit, man. Do you actually think anybody believed that shit? I think even subjects who were jumping on it didn't even believe it. I mean, their responses were not even credible. Not that it matters that we need to sit here and evaluate, oh, it's important whether or not they agree or believe what Rage Pig said. It's a mark of an abusive coward. If he had revenge porn that he was going to lay out on someone, as we saw in those court documents, what's to stop him from taking care of breaking the culture or Stargate if he had information? Nothing. Nothing at all. So let him go ahead and say that I control Stargate and breaking the culture, because that's the fuel. That's the anger. That's the igniting source, because he feels he should be in my position. It goes beyond bizarre, because this is what abusers actually think. They perceive a circumstance to be a certain way when it isn't. And there is nothing you can do to change their mindset except for one thing. Prove me wrong. Let me bring you under my total and complete control, Stargate. Let me bring you under my total and complete control, breaking the culture of silence. That is the only way you will convince me that AAS, me, anti-Afro Bengalis, isn't controlling you. That means that you have to be beholden to me. That's a mindset of an abuser. Total and complete compliance from A to Z, without question, unconditional subjugation and slavery, physical and mental. You saw the court papers. The one woman wanted to get the hell up out of there. She wanted to break up. And he's like, break up? Pay me back my money. Whatever money, that $400 or something like that. And if you don't pay me back the money, I'm going to revenge porn you. Because you're going to try to break up with me. And I'm going to revenge porn you anyway if you break up with me. I'm going to revenge porn you anyway if you don't come back. Revenge porn if I don't come back? I'm going to kill myself if you leave me. And her too, if she doesn't come back. Thank God these two women went to the law and got help. But you can imagine, undoubtedly there are others who didn't do anything, who took the abuse. Because an abuser is successful even once, he or she is going to continue until they find someone else who's willing to be brought under their control. But there's a sticking point here, because there are two women who refuse to be brought under control. And that is not acceptable to someone like Rage Pigs. So he targets everybody else, claiming it's their fault because of the circumstances that he's in, that he's failing to be able to control the women he wants to control. And then as far as Propane, I guess he feels he has Propane under some control, because Propane hasn't come out and gone ham on him. What I find very interesting is how much this has ignited Carrie Ann. It's igniting Carrie Ann because she knows she is just like Rage Pigs. Now she's perping as if Propane is a victim, to the degree where she can actually stand and defend him. How can she stand and defend him when she does the exact same things that Rage Pigs does? Put Nikki's business all out in the street, going all the way back 3 years. Spread her business to Photon. Spread her business to, well, we know some other people she spread Nikki's business to because they told us about it, who she thought was her friend. and continues to make threats to this day. If she goes and tells my business, I'm going to go and tell hers. Well, she told MPW's business. But let you hear what Carrie Ann has to say. Most bizarre, most implausible, and most hypocritical. Stay tuned and I will return.
The fact that Propane ain't cussed him out, he gonna keep stepping closer and closer to that line. Like, oh nah, cause you said it was over. So if it's over, why is you still talking about it? Bitch, cause he wants to. How the fuck you do something to somebody and then tell them they can't talk about it no more? The nerve of this nigga Triggs to be stomping around this sector like he is the one that got done wrong is, and these hoes not to be saying nothing about it is fucking weird. Is this what the sector came to? Because let me tell you something. Ain't nobody got to be my motherfucking friend. If that's what it takes to have friends in this sector, fuck a friend. Because ain't no way in hell I'm going to ever be down with no shit like that.
Let me cut in and say that's a damn lie. Because Carrie Ann perpetrated criminal behavior right along with Mona De Leon, Alexis Avant, after Alexis Avant stole Social Security information from the actual federal system, passed it on to Carrie Ann, who passed it on to other people, who very clearly indicated she received the information. I couldn't let that lie fly, folks.
He didn't just record Propane. He tried to expose some personal shit that nigga was going through. Everybody else in the fucking sector love Propane. Everybody else in the fucking sector concerned for this nigga, want to help this nigga. Everybody else care about Propane. It's one weird ass nigga that want to fucking hurt him. Why? Why? People don't do that all the time. No matter what his fucking handmaidens say. No, they don't. People don't do that all the time. People in the sector don't all the time go around trying to devastate and destroy other men in the sector without no provocation for no fucking reason. No, they don't. They don't do that. That's not true. They're lying when they say that. That's not what people do all the time. No, they don't. They don't. Propane didn't do shit to deserve that. Nothing. And the fact that Propane's so laid back that he just don't even want to argue about it. And I get it. Some people are like that. Like, until they ready to beat your ass, they just don't want to talk about it. Like, whatever. You got it.
Is Propane really to be considered a victim? Well, we don't have no indication that the call was recorded. That would be potentially a crime. Who can deny, who has one lick of sense of morality left, that it was low down and dirty? But what can you say? What Propane did to Rev G was low down and dirty. What Propane did to me was low down and dirty. What would drive Propane to go and trust someone who was witnessed doing the most atrocious and most abusive behaviors? One, enraged pigs. In one grand sense, it's a rhetorical question. I'm certainly not seeking an answer, but I'm not going to neglect to point out the facts regarding Propane's own behaviors. But when it's wrapped up in one neat package, these subjects deserve each other because they're so willing to attack other people who never assailed them, who never aggrieved them. However, they act as if you just came into their abode and did a home invasion. We get it. They are appeasing. They are trying to please. They want to be part of the group, although they continue to insist AFW is this sinister group. No, they are a group yelling and screaming about not being a group that is out to harm people. Look at the conduct, actual criminal behavior, actual slander. Propane doesn't see it as slander that he, without justification, compares Rev G to Eddie Long. It was so important to him to be recognized as important as part of the, quote, group. Would never in his wildest dreams have ever thought to say, you know what, you shouldn't be saying that about Rev G. I don't see any indication that he has done anything to warrant being compared to Eddie Long. No, he's not going to say that. See, that's what you get down to the nitty-gritty when you refer to someone's character in their value system. Carrie Ann is doing nothing but blowing more smelly doo-doo out of her stank booty, trying to fake defend Propane when she engaged in the same damn behavior. But Propane wanted to go ham on Rev G. Propane wanted to go ham on me, although it was King Kong Crud who talked all that shit about you. Then he says that I was mad. She was mad because I wouldn't go off on him. Why shouldn't I be mad that you didn't go off on that piece of shit when you chose to go off on me? Of course, I'm going to let you know about yourself that was some cowardly bullshit. King Kong Crud was the one talking all that shit about you. But then again, we know that's not going to get Propane anywhere. It's not going to get Propane anywhere if you talk shit about King Kong Crud. Who the hell cares? He will earn points. He will get accolades. He will be given approval, reapproval, seal approval over and over again if he targets only certain people. I stated it in another video. I'll state it again. That's the reason why he didn't give a damn about what Carrie Ann said. Carrie Ann ain't going to get me anywhere. I'm not going to get any praise, accolades, support. I'm not going to get cash apps for talking shit about Carrie Ann. Nobody gives a shit about no Carrie Ann stank booty bigot. Nobody. And when I say nobody, I specifically mean they don't have a concern to the point they're going to give Propane Oak Lane kudos because he says something to Carrie Ann. He don't care. Not at all. But I saw the situation with Propane before, how there was a very just unsettling disposition where he can't take the pressure and the heat. That woman that was over there, I don't remember her name. I think they said that she's gone. Whatever, ain't none of my business, but for the fact she made public statements that support what I'm saying. She said that Propane could not take the pressure. He was going to drive them into a wall when he was in the car. She was, I guess, trying to talk to him about something, and he was ready to commit double deletion, self-deletion and her deletion by driving the car into the wall. Now, I'm not making that shit up. That came out of her mouth. She said he was going to drive the car into the wall with me in it. So Propane would get so fed up sometimes, and this is just what I'm seeing in the relatively brief time I was there. He came online and he was saying that he broke up with the girlfriend. This was before, I don't know, if this person's gone, she's gone, whatever, not my business. But when she was on that channel running shit, he would come on and say, we broke up. And you knew it wasn't true, but he was saying it for a reason. He wanted out. He couldn't take the pressure. And again, we have more pressure being exerted. But Propane, you decided to trust someone like Rage Pigs instead of someone like Rev G. And I want to make sure it's clear, Rev G is not running after no Propane, trying to be Propane's friend. You chose wrong because of peer pressure. You chose wrong because you need to please people, regardless of what happens to anyone else or what impact it has on anyone else. You're calling somebody Eddie Long, but you get upset when someone says something about you. And Propane, I did hear you say out of your mouth, whether you were lying, only you know, you said you have a daughter. You said it. You said that. You said, my daughter. You made the statement. You weren't talking about the cat or the dog. You made the statement. Again, none of my damn business when it comes down to it, but for the fact you made the public statement. And now you're up here trying to pass judgment on everybody else that you think you will get points for when you attack. You know, if you say anything about Kip, people are going to listen. You're going to get kudos. If you say something about Smoke, you're going to get kudos. You're going to get a response. It's going to be a big deal. You talk about Rev G, of course. You're going to get a lot of play, a lot of time, and a lot of attention. You were interested in the situation with the Yow Show. You deal with the Yow Show. Go ahead, deal with the Yow Show and his disingenuous disposition. Enough is enough. I'll go ahead and confront the issue if it needs to be confronted. I'm not going to go blame other people for a situation that I know can be dealt with the subjects involved. I don't need to bring anyone else into it. That is the problem. People don't have the guts, don't have the courage to do the right thing on their own. And then they say that they're independent. They're not independent. They are very dependent on each other. They can't handle the fact that someone is going to criticize them because they're doing the right thing. Yes, it would be doing the right thing, Propane, had you not slandered Rev G and brought up Eddie Long. Eddie Long was accused of sexually abusing, sexually exploiting, and essentially prostituting young males. That's what he did. That's what Eddie Long did. And then some said it started when they were minors. What the hell does that have to do with Rev G? Nothing, but you knew if you said anything about it, or if you implied it, or stated it, or put it in a song, whatever the hell you did, you were going to get approval. You were going to get accolades. You were going to get support. And you think that's a right thing to do? Well, maybe you do. But what is the situation now? You're not feeling too great right now because you sided with sinister bullshit. If you know how to do the right thing, that's what you should be doing. But if you don't, you just don't. And I am reemphasizing my position about inevitability ignored. If you hook up, run up with, trust a backstabber, inevitably you're going to be done in. And that is exactly what happened with this Rage Pig situation. It is what it is, folks. So I thought I'd come in here and give my 3 cents, 2 cents, 5 cents. And if I want to get 50 cents, I want to get $5. I want to get $25,000, I'll give that too when it comes to the extent and quality of my opinion and views on whatever happens in these YouTube streets that impacts me. Or let's say it doesn't. I can speak on it just the same. I'm not going to put restrictions on myself. Why the hell am I putting restrictions on myself when none of these freaks have any concept of what a restriction is? They cross lines each and every day, all day long. Listen, folks, you know I have more coming, so stay tuned. Buyer beware.